Hi guys, hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to be discussing something that I think every magician has thought about at some point. I'm talking, of course, about what is your go-to trick? This is a question that magicians absolutely love. Every single time I do a live stream, at least one person will ask this. And for me, actually, it's not a simple answer. It's not simple at all, and that's why I think this deserves a whole video talking about casual magic. Because, spoilers, I don't have a go-to trick. I'm sorry. I know that's gonna surprise a lot of magicians, but I just don't have one. Some of you might be thinking, Cavan, are you mad? Why don't you have a go-to trick? That's just something that you think about as a magician. And yes, I have thought about this. I've thought about it a lot, and I've come to the conclusion that I don't need one set trick to do every time someone wants to see some magic. And in this video, I'm gonna be talking about why. I'm gonna be talking about what tricks I do, and I'm going to be talking about what tricks I don't do. Ultimately, I'm also hoping to give you some advice as to which trick you should pick, if any, to be the one that you do when someone wants to see some magic. This will end up being a little bit of advice about how to choose the tricks and all those sorts of things. So, let's sit on the beanbag and talk about go-to tricks. So the first question to answer is, did I ever have a go-to trick? I have said go-to trick so many times during this video. I need a new word for it. And yes, I did. I used to do a card trick called CVN prediction. Now, if you don't know what CVN prediction is, essentially you get a bit of paper and a pen and a deck of cards. They shuffle the deck of cards, they deal any number of cards they want, and you predict, by writing on the bit of paper beforehand, the number and the card they stop at in the deck as well. So that was the trick that I used to do. I think it's quite a simple yet interesting trick, and it doesn't have to be a bit of paper and a pen. You can write it on your phone as well, so it doesn't really need set props. But you do need a deck of cards, and that is where the first problem comes, because if you're choosing a card trick to be the one you do, then you need a deck of cards with you at all times. You always need to carry cards. And if you've watched my everyday carry video, you'll know that I don't carry cards with me everywhere I go. That's a bulky thing to have in your pockets. However, I also mentioned in that video that I did used to carry cards every day, and that's part of the reason why, just in case anyone said, do you want to see a trick? Or no, they wouldn't say that. They would say, can you show me a trick? But now, I mean, that was a few years ago. Now, a lot of the time I will do mentalism. I'll do things that don't rely on any props. And again, if you want to learn any of this stuff, like propless mentalism, I teach a load of that over on patreon.com/cavanbooth, which is the $5 club. So for just $5 at the lowest tier, you can get access to 37 different magic projects. And that's a lot of the stuff, like I say, propless mentalism, CVN prediction is on there. All of those sort of tricks, they're all taught in detail on there, just thought I'd mention that. The thing about knowing propless mentalism is, well, it's propless. Some people call it naked mentalism because theoretically you could do it naked. I never have, but theoretically you could. And sure, if you carry a wallet and you have a very small trick, you can put a trick in there, like I used to. I used to carry tricks in my wallet that took up hardly any space. I don't really know why I stopped doing that. There's nothing to stop me doing that. I can still put tricks in my wallet, carry that with me, and have a trick ready to go. Personally though, I also want to think about what the most powerful trick is. I don't just want to think about what's practical to carry. If there was a card trick that was really killer that I absolutely wanted to do every single time, then I'd carry a deck of cards. What I'm trying to say is, if there's a trick you absolutely desperately want to perform that uses a prop, then carry the prop with you. There's no shame in that. I know people that absolutely swear by double cross as their go-to trick, and so for that they will carry a Sharpie with them everywhere. I think, you know, that is just what they will do. Another reason I don't have one set trick is quite simply, every time I'm asked to do magic, it's a different situation. And I choose the trick depending on the situation. Like I say, I will sometimes start a trick and not quite know where it's going, but often the situation will present a certain trick. It's a bit of a strange thing to talk about because there's so many ifs and buts. There's so many, well, if I'm here I'll do that, and if I'm there I'll do this. Like for instance, if we're playing a card game with friends and people want to see a trick, well, I'm gonna do a card trick. I think also with performing magic like this and not having a trick to go to comes a certain confidence. I think you've got to be quite confident to launch into a trick in that moment, but you've also got to be able to decide what trick you want to do or can do, which is again why it's so important to have that toolbox. I always talk about the toolbox of tricks and sleights and things that you can pull out and use at any moment. So if you have a deck of cards and someone says, show a trick, well, you need to have some knowledge of tricks you can do with a shuffled deck, first of all, but also so much knowledge of sleight of hand and how to handle cards that you've never handled before. You've got to be able to do sleight of hand with no matter what you're faced with. And again, it's about thinking in the situation. So if you're doing a go-to trick, you've got to analyse whether you can do it or not. This thought process should take about 5 seconds, and it shouldn't be a big hesitation. Because remember, we're magicians. We're trying to create the illusion that we can do magic, do the impossible. And if we really could, then there wouldn't be much time where we'd take the cards and go, one second, let me just see if I can do a bottom deal here. You know, that whole analysis of the situation can't take too long. If someone wants to see a trick, you should ideally go, yeah, sure, pass me something. What shall I do magic with? Now, if you're very, very good at magic, by all means do that, but I don't know nearly enough magic to be as confident as that and just say, yeah, pass me an object. Obviously, if we could actually do magic, that would be the thing we'd do, but I think you've got to have a certain level of control over the situation. So maybe you know some ring magic, you see someone's wearing a ring, well, boom, you're straight in there, there's no hesitation. But I have been in situations where you struggle to think of a trick in that moment. You also need to think about what props people will have on them. If you're performing for people, let's say your phone is out of battery or you don't want to use your phone, well, what do people tend to have on them? They tend to have phones, sometimes wallets, definitely keys or money or, you know, coins maybe. I mean, I don't carry coins, but if you think that other people might, you can do some coin magic with their stuff. I mean, honestly, I could talk for hours about choice of props and knowing which tricks to do in which moments. It's a complicated thing. But hopefully this has helped you in some way to think about the magic that you perform, to think about whether your go-to trick is bulletproof. Can it be done from all angles? Can it be done in every situation? If you mess up, what's your backup? Even though it's a go-to, you should still be thinking about backups. And I think finally, it goes without saying that your focus should entirely be on what the audience experience. You know, what are the audience getting out of this? Doesn't matter what the method is, don't worry about the method. Don't think like a magician, you're not trying to impress anyone with a method. It can be as simple as a self-working, you know, maths trick that they do. If you know a formula, a self-working maths formula, that can be your last resort, your last backup. It's still a powerful trick, you know, elephants in Denmark. As overused as it is, and as much as we magicians laugh at tricks like that, or the 21 cards in 3 rows, we laugh at those, but ultimately they are self-working and they're quite impactful. I can't believe I just said that the 21 card tricks thing is a good trick. Quite ashamed of myself. My point is, don't be a magician, don't try and impress people with methods. You're here to give people a memory, you're here to give people an experience. So go do it, have fun, and I hope this video has helped you in some way. I really enjoyed making this video. It is a little bit casual, a little bit different to the sort of stuff I normally put on YouTube. It's normally sort of stuff like this that I put on the $5 Club, actually. Videos like this, talking about magic, talking about the philosophy of, you know, which tricks and propless magic, all that sort of stuff. So if you did enjoy this video, make sure to click the thumbs up button down below, and if you've never seen a video from me before, then hello, and you can subscribe to the channel down below if you want to. Completely up to you. If I was you, I don't know if I would. I don't know if I could put up with this hair, looking at this hair in videos, to be honest. It's just a bit bad, isn't it? Lockdown is getting to us all in the hair department. Do I suit curtains? Oh god, no, I don't suit curtains. I'm glad we had to find that out the hard way. Cheers for watching, guys. Stay safe. I hope you're all doing well. My thoughts are with you all at this strange time on Earth. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
I think you're gonna have to be. We're gonna have to go very